I just cleaned my house, so you get me looking like this today. But I get so many questions about what we do for insurance, and it's easier for me to just tell you why we like Christian Healthcare Ministries as opposed to writing it all out. Also, that way, only those of you who are actually interested need to watch it, so not everyone has to read a bunch of fine print. Anyway, the reason we like it is because it's one recommended by Dave Ramsey. It's a Christian health sharing program, so it's not like typical insurance, but it works great for us. I'm the only one on it now, but we did have our whole family on it. Just a couple quick things. It's $225 per unit per month. Each adult in your family is considered a unit, and then all the kids together collectively are 1 unit. So the most you could have in your family is 3 units. We are only using 1 because it's for me. So it's $225 per unit per month for the top level. That's the gold plan. You have the highest coverage and the lowest like amount out of pocket. So that's the one we use. And it will cover, I don't know what the coverage limits are for like each incident, but we also do add a program called Brother's Keeper. And if you add that program, I think it's an extra $20 a month or something like that. You get unlimited coverage. So essentially for $225 a month, or maybe it's $245 with the Brother's Keeper. Anyway, I get unlimited coverage for any incident. The way it works is not like a traditional insurance program. There is no traditional like cumulative deductible. So you pay 100% for any incident below $500. As soon as an incident goes over $500, like $501, Christian Healthcare Ministries shares 100% of it. So you pay 0. So for example, my pregnancy and midwife bill and, first 6 weeks of Eloise's care was $5,300, and CHM paid the whole thing. They literally just wrote me a check for $5,300. One time I took Gregory to the emergency room for something and the bill was like $300. I paid 100% of that because it's under $500. And it's per person, per incident. So let's say I took Daisy to the emergency room for croup and it was $150. We would pay that totally out of pocket. And then let's say 3 days later, she went back to the emergency room for something totally different. She broke her arm and it was only $400. Then we would also pay that. But if the second one was over $500, then they would pay that at 100%. So it's not, like I said, it's not a traditional cumulative deductible. It's per person, per incident. So that's the biggest difference. They also do not do any, they don't cover any preventative care. So like we just pay to go see a doctor, essentially just to have it on the books once a year. We all do like an annual exam or an annual wellness visit or whatever. Or I guess I take the kids for an annual wellness exam and I just pay out of pocket for that. They don't cover dental or vision unless it's like an emergency. You had to go to the emergency room. And yeah, so, and they don't do, if you have pre-existing conditions, I don't know exactly what the fine print is, but it's basically like if you've been treated for it or been taking medicine for it within the last 3 years, it's considered a pre-existing condition. If it's older than 3 years and something came up, it wouldn't be considered pre-existing. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. As far as maternity care, you have to wait, they say 30 days, but I would err on the side of caution and say 60 days after signing up before you get pregnant. So they only cover pregnancy if it's like 300 and something days after you've signed up. So essentially what I tell people is sign up and then wait 2 months, try to wait 2 months to become pregnant so that they'll cover your pregnancy, your labor and delivery. This is all under the guidelines section of their website, but I just like to explain it to people like this because people have all these questions. So it's great in my opinion, it's great for families who don't go to the doctor very often, but who want coverage for big things like maternity care specifically, emergency room visits, anything that's going to be over $500. And honestly, you can get to $500 pretty quickly on an incident. Like a broken arm is going to be over $500 because you're going to have your emergency room visit plus your x-rays, plus your cast, plus your care afterwards, all that sort of stuff. And so I think it's great because pretty much anything that we're going to take our kids to the ER for is going to be over $500. And anything, our annual visits and stuff, we just save for them. So we save $100 a month. We call it medical savings. We just keep it in our checking account, $100 every month. And then we use that to pay for, like, if I want to go to the chiropractor, or if, like I said, if we have something that doesn't hit the $500 threshold, then we'll just pay that out of our medical savings account, which, like I said, is just money that we keep in our checking account. And then like prescriptions we pay for unless the prescription is tied to the incident, right? So like if I got really sick and I had to go to the ER for like say a UTI and the ER visit plus the prescription went over $500, then they would cover that 100% and I would pay $0. So that's how that works. I hope it's helpful. Feel free to message me with questions, but I do this to try to like ward off all of the frequently asked questions at least.